Hey, Miller the Pillar here. Today I'm going to show you how to make an American classic snack, the peanut butter and jelly sandwich, healthy style. So I love my mom so much, but man, she was a terrible cook. My brother and I were often left to make food for ourselves, and the snack of a peanut butter and jelly sandwich was not only something we could make, but it was delicious and we loved to do it. Now, all grown up, peanut butter and jelly is just like a no-go food because of the wheat and the sugar, but I do love them. So why can't we reinvent the wheel and make it something that we can eat? So let's look at the ingredients and how we can up the game on a PB&J. So instead of wheat, I use spelt and rye, or rye bread. So I would say pick a type of bread that doesn't have wheat in it. That could be quinoa, kamut, amaranth. There's some amazing artisanal breads. Go to your local farmer's market and support them and buy fresh bread that doesn't have wheat in it, that has an ancient grain in it. You pick, and I'm telling you, you'll love the flavor of it even better. Okay, so that's the bread, most important part. Then we've got the filling. So I love strawberries. So I'm gonna make my own strawberry jam today. The problem with jam you buy in the stores is most of it is sugar. So I'm gonna use Splenda, or you could use Truvia. Splenda is an artificial sweetener made from Sucralose. Truvia is made from Stevia. It's plant-based. Either one of those are fine because they have 0 sugar carbs in them. And then lastly, the nut butter. One of my big problems with nut butter is the quality of the oil in it. So I like to make my own nut butter using coconut oil. And it's really easy to make and much cheaper. Today I've got some almonds, which I love, and some coconut oil, and we're gonna make our own nut butter. Right, so we've got plump, ripe, delicious strawberries. Without going too Nigella on you, I love strawberries. And we got about 2 cups of them. So I'm just literally gonna take the tops off, throw them into a pan. It's not hard to do this. One of the nice things about using your own fruit and making your own jam, beside the fact that you don't have to use sugar, is that you can buy local, you can support your farmer's market, you can buy things that are just at the height of ripeness. This is gonna give you better flavor, and it's gonna be better nutrients for you as well. A lot of times when things are picked, they're picked really early because it's just a commercial product. So now we've got the strawberries in the pan. Most important thing for making jelly is our pectin. So this is a natural pectin. I've got 1 tablespoon per 2 cups of fruit. That's gonna give it that glossy gel set effect. Then I've got a little bit of flavor enhancer, a lemon. So just a couple squeezes of lemon in there. Lemon works like salt. A couple squeezes of lemon ends up heightening the flavor of whatever fruit that you've got going. So I've got about 3 squeezes of lemon in here. And then lastly, the sweetener. So instead of using sugar, I'm using Splenda. Like I said, Truvia is a natural version as well. I've got 1 cup of sweetener for every 2 cups of fruit. So remember, it's gonna be about half as much sweetener as you use fruit. Now we're finished. It was that easy. This goes on the stove for only about 15 minutes at your very low setting, just until the fruit is macerated or just reduced down into a mush. Then turn the heat down, put it in a container, leave it sit out until it's room temperature, and then you can refrigerate it and you've got your own homemade sugar-free jam. And now for the last part, your homemade nut butter. Super easy. Just take whatever nuts you want. I've got almonds here today. In your blender. If you've got a food processor, even better. If it's not a food processor, don't do too much at one time. You're gonna kill your blender. So I would stick to maybe like 1.5 cups, 1.75 cups maximum of nuts, maybe even a cup to start with. I've got about 2 cups here. And then 1/3 the amount of hot coconut oil. So you don't want it to be solid, you want it to be in liquid form, and that's gonna be 1/3 the amount of the nuts that you use. So you can figure out your own proportions for that. Now, blend it up. It's that easy. Okay, it's that easy. Now when you take it off, it's going to be a little liquidy. Remember, we heated up the coconut oil, which is normally a solid. So don't be discouraged when you open it up and it's a little bit liquidy, because now we have to let it come back to room temperature and solidify up again. If you want it even stiffer, even harder, just use a little less of your coconut oil and check it out. Homemade nut butter. Okay, now let's make our peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Finally, we're ready to eat. Farmer's market, spelt and rye bread, homemade jam, and homemade nut butter. So let's dig into this. This is one of my favorite things, peanut butter and jelly. So a nice generous portion of the jelly. I know this seems like it's a weird thing, but I always like eating things that make me feel like I'm treating myself, even though I know that I'm being healthy with it. It's that easy. Okay, and just like when I was a little kid, get ready to get a little messy.